Sometimes your car throws a fit. Maybe the check engine light popped on after a small issue, or you fixed a problem but the computer hasn't caught up yet. The car's computer, also called the ECU or ECM, keeps memory of error codes and sensor readings. Resetting it can help clear up ghost codes, recalibrate fuel trim, and even improve drivability after a repair. Just don't expect it to fix serious mechanical problems. It's more like a fresh start. What happens when you disconnect the battery? When you disconnect your car's battery, it cuts power to the ECU, which erases the stored codes and memory. That includes things like idle settings, radio presets, and sometimes even shift patterns in automatic transmissions. It basically reboots your car's brain. This method has been used for decades, especially on older vehicles. Some newer cars might take longer to relearn, but the process is still the same in most cases. Step by step, resetting the computer. First, make sure your car is off and the key is out of the ignition. Pop the hood and locate the battery. You'll need a wrench, usually 10mm, to loosen the negative battery terminal. That's the one marked with a minus sign. Always remove the negative terminal first to avoid any accidental short circuits. Once the cable is off, wait. I usually tell folks to give it at least 10 to 15 minutes. Some say 5 minutes is enough, but letting the system fully discharge can't hurt. If you want to be extra sure, turn on the headlights or honk the horn once after disconnecting the battery. That helps drain any leftover juice from the system. After you've waited, reconnect the negative terminal and tighten it back down snug, but don't overdo it. Close the hood, get in, and turn the ignition to the on position for a few seconds without starting the engine. Then start the car and let it idle. Don't rev it, just let it settle in. It may idle a little rough for a bit while the computer relearns everything. So, what should you expect after a reset? Well, your car might act a little strange at first, and honestly that's totally normal. It's relearning things like idle speed, air-fuel ratio, and even transmission shift points. Just give it a few drives, usually somewhere around 50 to 100 miles, and it should settle down. You might notice your fuel economy isn't great at first, or maybe there's a slight delay in throttle response. But hey, that's just while the system dials itself in again. It'll improve as you keep driving. Also, just keep in mind if there's a real issue, like a bad sensor or maybe a vacuum leak, the check engine light might come back. Resetting the computer won't magically fix broken parts. It just clears the slate so the car can figure things out from scratch. Now, when does this method not work? Well, some newer cars have systems that actually hold memory, even after the battery is disconnected. They use backup power or capacitors that keep the ECU alive just long enough to retain settings. In those cases, you might need to use a proper scan tool to reset the codes, or reset the system through the car's onboard menu if that's available. But for most cars made before 2015, this method still does the trick. Oh, and by the way, some radios and anti-theft systems might lock after a battery disconnect. So if your radio asks for a code after reconnecting power, make sure you've got that code handy. Usually it's in the manual, or maybe on a sticker in the glove box. To wrap things up, resetting your car's computer by disconnecting the battery is kind of like turning your home router off and on again. It's not a miracle cure, but it can solve a lot of weird behavior. Just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. If your car keeps showing symptoms that come back after a reset, don't ignore them. You might be clearing the codes, but the root cause still needs attention. And honestly, that's where a good mechanic and a proper diagnosis really comes in handy.